frags just yet, but Shock finds Crew, and the Earthshatter comes in. It's massive! Paragon showing us it's his turf. White's now
and the pulse pop from Trev ends up getting the double kill there in the backline. Upgrade able to take off. Oh goodness, here comes the Blizzard! Gonna look to get the attack.
And then the sleep though, and the nade in, and they don't even need a single ult here to win it other than Shatter. And Kavat taking out Sosher there from a mile away.
The upgrade taking a big throw. That's the long one. Oh, but
Paragon with another Shatter! That's three
Shatters!
Shatters!
In the background. This may be possible. It could be. It really could be the boom. Oh, still here.
Welcome to season 3. Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup. Welcome to season 3. Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup.
Welcome to season 3.
Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing match at Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing match here at the Rose Cup. I'm Captain Jack, your play-by-play for the evening, joined by Platinum Thistle on the color roll as we go into this Platinum match, ironically enough, Singulariti Academy versus Canis Latrans. How you doing tonight, Platinum?
I'm doing excellent. I've been out of the country for about a month, and having just come back, the first thing I wanted to do was cast this match. So, which has been granted. Let's get this done.
All right. Well, glad to have you back. Lijiang Tower going to be our first map for this evening. But first, let's go ahead and take a look and see who we've got in roles for the teams this evening. I believe, producer, correct me if I'm wrong, we do have them sorted by their roles this evening. So tank, DPS, and heals, correct? Okay, so we're going to have, for Singulariti Academy, we'll have Soul Vex and Harrow Man on the tank roles this evening. Backstab Bud and Hard Duncan Chud, or Hard Dunk Kick Hud. I'm not for certain how you would pronounce all those syllables, but they'll be taking up the DBS for Singulariti Academy, as well as Ataraxic and Bandit with the H. Going to come in on the heels for Canis Latrans. We're going to be seeing Storm R7 and RGH taking up the tanks with Crow Champ and Dash on the DPS, and C3 Jointed and Dirty Shizno coming in for the heels this evening. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this party started. Now remember, this is the end of week 1 here at the Rose Cup. And I believe, if I remember correctly, our season is 12 weeks long this time around. So we're going to have a lot of information kind of going around. But as of right now, we have kind of no idea how these teams are going to really play against one another. We don't know what strategies they're going to be coming out with. I do recognize Dash, Storm, RGH, C3 Jointed. They were on a team that was representing Canis during Season 2, but since then they have kind of rebranded and shifted people around, and so have no idea how this new team is going to turn out. What do you think, Platinum? Do you happen to know anybody that's on the side of Singulariti for this match?
I don't know anyone from Singulariti, but I definitely do recognize Dash. He was on Lost Coyotes, was he not?
I believe so, yeah. So
yeah.
They moved up or they were in Platinum Division last time around. Gonna find them back in the Plats this time around. Go ahead and tell me what you see coming out of the spawn.
Well, we're going to see the pretty standard tank combo for a King of the Hill map such as this, which is the Halt Hook, the Orisa Hog, the Metal Pig, as it were. Oh, Storm, maybe switching it up. Always hard to tell before they get out of spawn. We see a McCree mirror, but the real difference is going to be coming into the support lineup. No real defensive ultimates coming out for Singulariti, but the survivability will come down to that Immortality field. Nano Boost is going to be helpful, and so is that Amplification Matrix. So we will be seeing when these Titans collide, whether or not the support ultimate from Dirty Shizno is going to be able to help them hold the edge.
Well, it looks like Backstab Bud already on the objective, trying to see if they can get that early tick as the team goes ahead and pushes in. But with the speed of Dirty Shizno, that's going to go ahead and get Canis Latrans already on the objective. Shield down for Storm R7 as they try to protect as much as they can from getting into the objective. The Immortality Field goes up for a Traxic, and we're already going to see the first pick almost come down, and there it is. Hard Dunk gonna end up getting Storm R7 as the Amplification Matrix and Coalescence already out for either side as RGH ends up taking down the Hard Dunk. Tire comes out for Dash, ends up taking down Backstab Bud, but the Anti-Nade coming in from Bandit. Dash looking to get out of that situation as quick as possible as Bandit ends up taking down Crow. The Nano coming in onto Harrowman, looking to do some damage right now, but we've got Storm back in the fight as Dash takes down a Traxic. Storm R7 and C3 joined following up on Harrowman and Bandit, and that is 35% and climbing for the side of Canis Latrans.
Quick change up here. Hard Dunk going to be coming in as the Hanzo now instead of the McCree. Crouchamp and Dash obviously going to have the advantage for ultimate because they stuck their DPS rolls. Oh, what a pull. That's unfortunate.
That was a beautiful pull. Backstab Bud not able to get over to the side. Solvex also going to get that kill onto C3 Jointed as well, though. So it is a 5v5 fight. 1 DPS down, 1 healer down. Oh, I guess it depends on how you play him, I suppose. Moira's been absolutely huge in this 2-2-2 meta right now. Bongo's going to end up getting popped out right there for a Harrowman as Backstab Bud backstabbing Storm. Trying to get onto the objective. Coalescence coming out once again, as well as the whole hog out for Solvex. Ends up cleaning up Dash and clearing the objective of RGH as well. C3 Jointed able to take down Backstab Bud, but that's going to be just about it. 87, 88% and climbing right now as they still try to get control of the objective. The only one left on the objective is Dirty Shizno, who is trying to hold on with all their might, able to get it up to 96% before we end up seeing Singularity Academy take control of the objective.
Solvex really bringing it out there with the hog, the whole hog, and nothing but the hog. Bringing it out, getting a double pick onto 2 key members there. But if you want to look at the advantages in terms of ultimates, it's probably going to have to go to Canis or Coyotes with 1 ultimate ahead.
There are definitely a lot of ultimates coming down as the Amplification Matrix already gets popped by a Traxic right there. We're going to see the shield go down as the Storm Arrow and a Traxic getting a double right there. Backstab Bud able to take down Storm, and that is going to be a clear of that push right now. RGH currently sleeping, taking a little nap as that Anti-Nade comes in. The hook comes in onto Dirty Shizno, trying to get that boop, but the Traxic going to go ahead and take them out of the fight. 47% and climbing right now for the side of Singularity Academy.
Now, while that was a 1 fight, you may have noticed 2 ultimates used there by Singularity, and all 6 coming online for Canis. And all they need is 1 more take for them to win this. They're playing this smart. They're not using any ultimates. They're just keeping it up.
Woo-hoo-hoo! That was close. That was a close ult right there as Crochamp coming out with the High Noon ends up getting taken down by Backstab Bud as Hard Dunk ends up taking down Dash as well. So the DPS already out of the fight as C3 ends up getting Harrowman with the Death Ball right there, but Backstab Bud taking down the Bongos that come out from Storm. Dragon Strike coming out as well from the side of Solveig, and Hard Dunk end up taking 1 apiece. Solveig ends up making it 2 as they take down Storm, but Dash gonna follow up on Hard Dunk. 90% and climbing right now. We are into final fight territory, and Canis has got to be able to touch this point.
They just didn't protect Crochamp as much as they could have there. Oh, that's super unfortunate.
And unfortunately, the whole hog ends up coming down from Solvex, not able to allow that Hammond to get to the objective in time for Canis to be able to keep the timer going. But it's all right, because that's only 1. And as Spider-Man says in The Family Guy, everybody gets 1. So we will see if the 1 can now come for Canis Latrans here as we go to the control center of Lijiang Tower.
Now, the one biggest problem you could see there is you might be thinking to yourself, they had it all going for them. They have all 6 ultimates. The problem was all came down to the timing. Storm did not get that shield up to cover Crow Champ in time, and as one thing led to another, they ended up using 2 ultimates. But they were very, very, very clever with. They had a lot of self-restraint and did not invest any more ultimates. They kept it for the next fight, which unfortunately, according to the timing, did not come to pass.
Nope, that's unfortunate. The whole hook already coming in as Crow Champ taking down Harum, and they're coming out with the May Reaper composition, or as I like to call it, the Freezy Blade. Just something I totally made up right now because it sounded really cool in my head. But we're gonna Frostblade, even better. See, that's why I don't say the first thing that comes out of my head. But we're gonna see Canis Latrans already taking the objective with only a single pick during that entire fight. Haruman gonna end up getting the hold hook in there as Hard Dunk ends up taking down Dirty Shizno right there. It is a 5v6 fight right now as Crow Champ working their way back to the objective for some safety from the team. The hold hook comes in, ends up taking down a Traxic from C3 Jointed. Already the Blade and Coalescence coming out. Coalescence trying to deter the Blade as Dash ends up getting the final touch, that frozen touch from the Ice Queen herself onto the blading Genji. Solvex and Storm and RGH just clearing up the feed right now as the tank play continues onward. 37% and climbing for Canis Latrans.
As you may have noticed, Canis toyed with the idea of running a Rein Zarya towards the beginning of this, but they went back to the Roadhog Orisa, which really seems to be their comfort pick, especially with Dash on the May. What a wall.
Woo! The wall goes up, but that anti-nade still coming as Dash ends up taking down Hard Dunk. So that's already a 5v6 fight before they even get anywhere close to the objective. 60% in climbing for Canis.
Yeah, if they're smart, they won't push that anymore. They'll just take the 10-second penalty and then push the team. Here it comes.
Oh, Hold Hook comes in, ends up getting Storm right there. Solvex, the anti-nade coming in on RGH as well, trying to get healed up before the fight gets started. Hold Hook comes in as the tire following up on Backstab Bud, working its way around, seeing if they can get it. Gonna end up taking out the other tank as Hard Dunk getting the kill on to Crow Champ and Dirty Shizno and C3 as the bongos get popped. Backstab Bug gonna follow up onto Dash, but it is 6 ultimates versus 3 coming into this next fight. 87% for the side of Canis, 8% and climbing for the side of Singularity Academy.
They've reached that critical point where it's pretty much guaranteed a one-play win.
No! The Hold Hook again as the anti-nade goes in, ends up taking down C3 and Storm right there. They're going to back out and try to get the team back together. Singularity Academy just seems to be these people that wait for that final moment to get in there, which I'm not saying is wrong by any means, because they're definitely making it work for them. But Canis has got to figure out how to get past it.
Absolutely, and the biggest thing here is that it's a choke pointy map. Dash should have the advantage with that Maywall being able to control where the fight moves, but they're just finding it so hard, and they're gonna have to move into a 50% hold here.
All right, well, Bongos, Coalescence, Whole Hog, they're releasing it all right now as the tire comes out. Hard Dunk ends up getting the Deadeye kill onto Crow Champ as RGH follows up onto Hard Dunk. Blizzard coming out on the objective, seeing if they can clean up the rest. The hook comes in, but gets frozen before they can do much of anything else. The heals continuing to come in from a Traxic despite the Blizzard that came down. And now we're going to see a Whole Hog come out from Solvex as well, and they're gonna get the hook onto Crow Champ, end up taking them out of the fight. Solvex just cleaning up the objective. The one-man wrecking crew, one-person wrecking crew right now, just getting the 3 as the Traxic and Hard Dunk Kid pick off the remains. Now they're going to surpass 89% and climbing as Hard Dunk ends up getting the kill onto Storm.
See, we're gonna have to have Dash coming all the way around on Doomfist just to touch this point. He's been slept. He can't reach it.
He's been slept. He's not gonna be able to touch it. Overtime ticking away though. The Hammond touches RGH, able to touch the objective as Crow Champ also near the point. Bandit and Backstab Bud end up getting kills on C3 and Dash. The tire comes out. Full kill from Backstab Bud with the bongos out. The only one left to touch the point right now is Dirty Shizno, and that is going to be it. Team kill going to ring loud and proud in first match of the evening here on Lijiang Tower. Going to go to the Singularity Academy.
Wow, that is crazy. That was quite an end there. Solvek's going to be receiving play of the game. Roadhog play. Let's see how he does. Very
this was that
good
whole
play.
hog. And then just getting the heals and then just single-handedly.
One more. There you go.
1, 2, 3. And then follows up on that last one right there. Just clearing the objective. It looked like it was getting ready to go into Canis's favor. What would you say is the one thing that they didn't focus on for Singularity that they definitely should have in order to win that fight?
Singularity, from what I can tell, is extremely aggressive. They've been pushing hard and they haven't had much of a backup plan. So if I were you, I would take out their only stilts. I would get to a position where they're not comfortable, get to the high ground, get somewhere where they don't want to fight you, and get to their back line. Take out a support, even if it's just the one. If you can take out the only stilts they have, the only crutch, then they'll fall even harder.
And what would that crutch be?
Their only crutch right now is their only fallback plan. It's their healers.
Good point.
Which may sound stupid. It may sound like, sure, most teams, most compositions are like that. But for them, it's even more so. The only reason their tanks have been able to play this aggressive, and their DPS, for that instance, have been able to play this aggressive, is because their healers are keeping up the tanks. The tanks are directly following up with everything the DPS are doing. They're working as a well-oiled machine. The only difference is they're aggressive with it, and they aren't protecting their healers. And Canis isn't going after the healers. If they go back there, everything falls down. It's like taking out all of the Jenga pieces from the bottom instead of from the top and working your way down. It falls because gravity is doing the work for you. Gravity in this case is going to be DPS falling to tank, tanks falling to healers. So if you take out the healers, both tanks and DPS will fall. If you take out just one of the tanks or just one of the DPS, you're still going to have a tower built of the rest of the team.
Nope, I completely agree with you there. I think the biggest play that they could have made right there was taking Ataraxic out of the fight, because Ataraxic, despite being at a distance, used the amplification matrix to make sure that through the blizzard, both Solvex and Haruman were able to stay in the fight during that entire engagement right there. And despite what people may or may not know, Baptiste's amplification matrix does amplify healing as well. And so you shoot those grenades through that amplification matrix, you are dousing out a huge amount of healing over a set amount of time.
Absolutely.
That is able to keep your tanks in the fight, which was all they had at that moment. That ended up turning it around, allowing Solvex to end up getting that triple kill that allowed Singularity to hold that on. So as you said so eloquently, Platinum, that is exactly what they need to be focusing on. You got to take those healers out of the fight, especially those huge healers that are coming out, either the Moira or the Baptiste, that is really keeping the team up as much as possible.
The biggest thing that I'm seeing right now from Singularity is that they are very much an emotion-based team. They do things the way they feel it out, and it doesn't seem like they have that much of a plan. One of the biggest things I've seen from this is we had Solvex get hooked into Canis when they were playing on the first map, and Ataraxic threw out the immortality field, even though Solvex had it completely covered. There was a little bit of worry. There was a little bit of panic. They had not come up with a way to deal with that. Everyone threw it in. They used immortality field for no reason, because by the time immortality field deployed, Solvex was out of its range and was back with his team, and it just got destroyed. But the thing is, Canis, they had a plan that they stuck to. They didn't take advantage of something that was so clearly their only fallback. Like I said at the very beginning of the match, Singularity didn't have any defensive support ultimates. The only thing they had for defense was that immortality field. And once it was down, they didn't push. They ended up having to fall back, and the only ultimates that were used were the amplification matrix and the dragons. If they just played a little slower and then pushed in the second immortality was down, they could have really had that fight in a totally different place.
Nope, I completely agree with you there. Well, we're headed to the favorite of many of the Rose Cup, headed to Scrim's Row, aka King's Row, for our for our hybrid map for this evening. If you're interested in supporting our community, be sure to hit that heart button at the top of your screen. That'll alert you to whenever we are online. The next couple of weeks going to be a little bit screwy. We're going for the Monday through Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, but near the end of September, early October, we're going to be swapping back to our regular 6-day-a-week schedule. So be sure to be ready for that. If you'd like to continually additionally support our community, you could hit that subscribe button, $4.99, or a Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will give support to our community in that way, and you'll have access to some additional emotes as well as some rankings that go along with that. In addition to that, you can also go to our Matcherino page, just search the Rose Cup, and you'll see the current prize pool that's being put together by our community. I think it's currently sitting at about $250. So that's the prize pool for all of our different divisions. So the higher it goes, the more money our teams get at the end. So be sure to support them.
I'm glad you reminded me because I just resubscribed using my Amazon Prime subscription.
Well, thank you so much for doing that, Platinum. Let's go ahead and get to the action, though. Dash ends up getting dashed in that halt hook as Backstab Bud ends up taking them out early in that fight. It looks like we're going to see Canis Latrans come out with that Ryan Zarya composition, which is absolutely huge on King's Row. It's not something that we don't not see, I guess. But we do, again, see that Hog Risa combo coming out from the side of Singulariti Academy, but it looks like the damage coming in on either side right now. Halt Hook comes in once again. Solvek able to take down Dash. Backstab Bud in the back line ends up taking down C3. Crochamp following up on Solvex, though, as Hard Dunk ends up getting the double onto Storm and Crochamp as well. Bandit following up on RGH, and that is going to be a clear of the objective with just about 15% captured right there. 3 minutes on the clock.
A good first push, and it's nice to see the Hog Risa coming in. Here, a lot of the time you see Ryan Zarya mirror on both sides, and that's because it's been so dominant. But let's see how Canis is going to be doing in this matchup.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that it's been dominant until people got really good at this. Shatter ends up coming in, though, from Storm, as well as the Nano Blade coming in on the Backstab Bud. Storm gets the double kill with the tackle as Backstab Bud ends up getting Crochamp. Hard Dunk following up on Dash. The DPS are out of the fight. It's the Amplification Matrix from Atraxic on the high ground right now, trying to support the team as Storm ends up taking down Bandit. RGH following up onto Backstab Bud. The only one left near the objective is Atraxic now. Hard Dunk coming back in with that Dragon Strike, ends up taking down Dirty Shizno and C3. That is going to take them out of the fight as Crochamp follows up on Haroman. 2 ticks right now as Solvek ends up falling to RGH and Dash following up on Hard Dunk Kid, and that is going to be an objective captured. 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Smoke him if you got him as that payload unlocks and starts moving to objective number 2.
Now, something big there is that Solvex should have definitely pulled out, but he pushed in. The reason they pushed in was because Hard Dunk got those 2 picks, but what he didn't realize was that Haruman had been picked off by Crochamp, and he still pushed in. He had no shield to back him up, and the flashbang just killed him there. He shouldn't have pushed in. And that's exactly what I was talking about with Canis. They have structured plans, they play well, but their adapt to change is really what they got to work on here. Let's see if they can do it into this upcoming fight.
Well, they're doing really well so far, as right now Dash Ore taking down a Hard Dunk, as we see Backstab currently in the back line working their way onto the objective. It's Dash and C3 versus Hard Dunk as the rest of the team goes ahead and moves their way back. 6 ultimates online right now for the side of Canis as they go ahead and move in. Immortality field out. Here comes the Bongos and the Whole Hog. As the Whole Hog gets stunned out, the Nano goes in with the Graviton. Tire coming out. Dash ends up getting 1. RGH following up on Haruman. In return, both the tanks are out of the fight as Dirty Shizno takes down Bandit, and that's going to be an objective number 2 with just about 2 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock.
They've had to use a little bit more ultimates than they probably wanted to. The goal generally is to get 2-2-2 ultimates, is to get 2 or only use 2 at a time, so you have time to build up the other ones by the time you get back around to it. They used 3 there, was enough to get them the point, and right now this steamroll is really making it seem worth it.
Yep, there we see now Singularity moving over to the Rhine Zarya as well, but Storm getting super aggressive right now. Oh, the Shatter comes in, but goes straight into Haruman's shield as Dash follows up on Haruman. After that, backstab Bud, quadruple kill in the backline with that Nano Blade as RGH ends up taking down backstab Bud in the end. Solvex follows up on RGH, and Dash just goes for the hard reset. 3 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock, and the objective is stalled at 40 meters.
And it seems to me that Canis has really got their stuff together here. Looks like they've got their stuff together because this is really an area that, or the Streets phase especially, was an area that respected timing. It was an area that respected good plans. And when they're coming through here, they're gonna be needing to see what they can do when they lose people.
Solveig already gonna take down Dirty Shizno, who swapped over to the Batiste for this. And I'm not for certain why they were swapping up healers at this point in time, because having that defensive ult could be absolutely huge for them. So, not for certain why the swap, but could continue to be powerful right there, as we see a very charged up RGH and Solveig right there.
Right,
Shatter ends up coming out from Haruman, but gets absorbed by the shield. The Nano goes in, as well as the High Noon ends up getting the double on the healers as Backstab Bud now on the Widow ends up getting taken down by Dash on the high ground. RGH getting the double kill on Solveig and Hard Dunkachud. And that is going to be a team kill ringing loud and proud for Canis Latrans as the payload moves into objective number 3 with 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock.
Looks like a bit more of an aggressive style was adopted here by both sides.
Oh, the Graviton gonna come out there though. Storm getting aggressive right there. Shatter coming out. That's a triple. Storm gets the double, triple kill, and that is the objective captured. Another team kill ringing loud. 2 minutes, 3 seconds on the clock remaining as that objective is captured. Canis Latrans ain't out of this fight yet.
Like I said earlier, it looks like Singularity is a very emotion-based team, and if they lose that point too fast, they might start to enter a downward spiral. So if I were them right now, what you're doing is not focusing so much on the team capacity side of things, not the composition, not that kind of stuff. You're focusing on building your team members back up, telling them, shake it off, we can do it in an even faster time. And if they can, then they really do have a real shot at taking us to a 2-0 when we go to halftime. But when it comes down to their attack run, then what they're really going to be looking for is they're going to be looking for some way that they can outdo the planning of the Coyotes. Like I said, this first set of points is really respectful of good planning, and you have a lot of chances if things go wrong for you to just keep setting yourselves back up and try a plan and making it perfect, figuring out the kinks and figuring out where and when, why it works. So Singularity is going to have to lose a little bit of that aggression and get down to the brass tacks of strategy here. They're really going to have to figure out what is going to make Coyotes tick the most. And I will tell you, it's not going to be going hard and loose with these aggressive tactics in the first point.
Well, it's something that they could end up pulling off. The strategy and the aggression do work hand in hand, as we saw right there with Storm, especially on that final point. We do have the double sniper coming out for Hard Dunk and Backstab, looking to see if they can use the high ground to their advantage to go ahead and push into the objective, but that's not going to leave a lot of DPS trying to take down these shields that are going to be so aggressive on the objective right now, as we see Crochamp and Dash. Ore looking to get some damage in there. The bubble comes up, as well as the Immortality Field. Anti-nade comes down, though. Traxic able to take down the Immortality, but not before losing 2 in the objective right there. Hard Dunk able to take down Dash as the snipes continue to come down from Backstab, looking to see if they can get those healers in the backline. Hard Dunk working their way around the backline as well, seeing if they can take them down. Just really trying to separate out this 2-2-2 composition. as we see them push right back in up again. 3 minutes on the clock. The fight really hasn't even stopped, to be completely honest, as the Nano Ore coming out, as well as the Amplification Matrix. Stun, Fire Strike going in there as Storm ends up taking down Solvek as well. Backstab able to take down Dirty Shizno in the middle of that as the sights come out as well. Dash looking to see if they can get on that high ground and take down Backstab, as C3 able to follow up onto Hard Dunkachud. And the only one left near the objective right now is Backstab Bud, and it's going to get the pick onto Dash, which is going to be unfortunate for them because that was their big damage dealer.
That is really unfortunate, and with these double sniper compositions, it's really more like a transport vehicle trying to get the snipers into position. But unfortunately, when they die, they're back out of position. So that's going to be something they're going to have to work on here. One DPS down for each side.
Coming in onto RGH right there is Haruman trying to get aggressive, trying to be like Storm right there. The Nano comes in, but so does the Shatter to interrupt it. Tackle ends up coming in as a Traxic ends up taking down Storm. Haruman using the Fire Strike to take down Crochamp, and Solvek going to take down RGH, and this is now the Singularity show as they get second tick going on to third tick right there. Haruman asking for attention. You've got it, as they grab objective number 1. 4 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock to get into objective number 2.
Singularity right there, you could tell exactly what they were thinking. They were waiting for Canis to fall into an aggressive mindset. They were waiting for them to feel comfortable, for them to push up, for them to try something risky. And that charge onto the stunned Reinhardt was really risky there from Storm R7. So after that went through, they followed up with Bandit Sleep. Perfect defensive measure. Unfortunate there for Haruman, however.
Nope, Haruman already out of the fight, but Backstab Bug gonna get that pick in the back line onto Crochamp right there. They're gonna meet up with the objective. It's a 5v5 fight, and Haruman's gonna be the one to get back to the fight sooner than later. Amplification Matrix coming out as the Immortality Field also gets popped with that reflected Fire Strike right there coming out from Storm. A Hard Dunk ends up taking down Dirty Shizno without the shield. They weren't able to do much of anything. Dash kind of sitting there in the back line looking to see if they can get that tire, doing some damage. Graviton ends up coming down for RGH as Haruman and Bandit end up getting kills on the objective. 3 minutes on the clock right now, and Dash is kind of hanging out back there. I'm not for certain what Dash is trying to do right now.
Where's Dash? Oh, what?
Yeah, you see,
maybe trying to get a cheeky tire in, but I don't know if his team's going to be able to get back and stall in time for him to do a tire from back there. No, they're not. So Dash is just stuck back there with no reason right now. They're down to DPS, and if I were Singularity, I'd look and see, try and find where Dash is, and then ignore him.
Pretty much, that's what we're seeing right here. Oh, they were waiting for the Graviton. Tire's coming out, looking to do some damage. Shatter comes out as a tire! Oh! Quadruple tire coming out from Dash. I know I recognize Dash from somewhere. those planned out tires right there. I mean, it was a long wait. I'd almost say it was too long of a wait right there. I feel like they could have gotten that triple tire right before the objective got captured and still have been fine. But you know what? Like you said, Canis Latrans really into that planning right there. Shatter comes down from Haruman, and I'm not for certain why, but here comes the Nano Blade coming in, takes down the Immortality Field, single, double, looking for the triple, but it's already, everybody's already been taken out by the rest of the team. 3 minutes on the clock right now as the payload works its way into objective number 3.
You can feel Singularity getting back into its groove. You can feel them shaking off their shoulders and feeling good about themselves again. Backstab going for the kill on Dash.
Woo! The Immortality Field comes out as Backstab takes down Dash in the backline to Traxic, following up onto Crochamp as well, but Storm taking down Haruman. They got to follow up on Solvex as well if they want to get into this fight, but another double kill between Traxic and Solvex right there. Now we're going to see the Doomfist coming out for Dash, looking to see if they can clear up the objective. I'm almost wondering if we're going to see a change in tank as well, but it looks like that is not going to be the case. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock, and with those picks, they're going to go ahead and back off the objective. Singularity regrouping right now.
A change in tank for either side would just be a bad idea. Because both Zaryas have Grav, and Storm is just about to have Shatter, and Harman must know this. As the attacking Reinhardt, it's his responsibility to be, as any Rhino, it's your responsibility to know this.
Oh, but Grab Dragon comes out, so does the Shatter. Ends up getting the quadruple kill with the blade right there, clearing up the objective. Team kill ringing just like it did in round 1. But this time for Singularity Academy, 1 minute 48 seconds on the clock, only 15 seconds separating these two teams right now.
See, that's not that big of a difference.
No,
Having finished the map all 3 and come within like 30-second difference, that's still pretty good. They should be proud of themselves there. But all to the same, Canis should look at that last fight and realize they saved up and used everything. We were fighting the inevitable pretty much here. So both sides going to be coming in pretty quickly. Singularity on the attack. Not going to be going with the double sniper composition this time, which I think is probably the better idea. Single sniper is going to be enough. Double sniper composition, or even single sniper composition, is going to be something that I like to call total mayhem here, which is named after Junkrat's passive, obviously. Because really what you do is you move in with your team and you get your snipers to their respective positions so that even after you've lost the fight and you're dead, be it the tanks and supports dead, you still have the 2 snipers in the backline ready to take positions and kill people while your team is dead. So you have them taking picks and your respawns are coming in faster. So really it is kind of like a martyrdom or an after death kind of thing for that composition.
Well, let's see if they can go ahead and pull it off. It looks like Hard Dunk going to take over the Widow for this fight right now, as Solvek ends up getting healed up after that big shot right there. I think the biggest thing that's going to be that we're going to see right here is the fact that Singularity has really been relying on those ultimates coming in. Backstab Ore getting taken down by Crochamp. RGH trying to stay in the fight, but the Immortality Field not able to come up soon enough as Hard Dunk ends up taking them out. Haroman following up on the Immortality Field right there as the double tackle comes in back and forth. Haroman able to take Storm out as Backstab Bud follows up on Dash right there. The only ones left near the objective right there are Dirty Shizno, who gets taken down by Atraxic, and C3, who gets followed up on by Hard Dunk. Crochamp follows up on Atraxic as both RGH and Crochamp get taken out of the fight as well. 50 seconds remaining on the clock, and the objective is going to go ahead and unlock the payload, start moving into objective number 2.
Even when there's only one person left, they play it strategically. Crochamp, when he realized he was the last person left, retreated into the Elderworth Hotel and flanked round, did a 2-tap headshot onto Atraxic to get the pick there. It wasn't like some run-of-the-mill spam thing. It was all calculated. And to me, that's extremely impressive.
Well, right now it's going to be all about timing right here. Amplification Matrix Shatter coming out right now as they move their way into the objective. Dragon Strike going to end up coming down for Hard Dunk, but that Immortality Field going to keep everybody up in that fight. 10 seconds remaining on the clock, and the payload is just basically sitting right there in that archway right there. The High Noon comes out but doesn't end up hitting much of anything as Dash ends up coming out with the tire, takes down Backstab Bud after following up on Dirty Shizno in their backline. It is a 4v3 fight now on the objective as the payload moving forward in overtime right now. Storm really trying to be aggressive. They do have C3 still bringing out the heals, but when you're in a 3v5 scenario, the best thing is to kind of just hold off for just a moment. But that Graviton coming out from Solvek's gonna end up cleaning up their tanks and probably going to make its way into objective number 2 as overtime continues to tick away.
RGH better switch because that was a bad grab. No, he's gonna stay on it. That wasn't such a good grab there. Attacking side, Singularity gonna make it all the way to second point, still in overtime. No one on the point. They would kick out entirely here. They've got to stay stuck to it like glue. until they die or
Dragon
reach
Strike
final.
coming out once again right there, ends up taking RGH as the Nano Blade goes in the backline, backstab on with the double, looking for the triple as Solvex takes down Storm, and that's going to clear up the objective once again. Harumen coming on with the Shatter as they move their way into objective number 3, still in overtime right here. Gotta be, really what we're seeing right here is the inability to kind of switch up tactics right here. The Ryan Zarya isn't what you need. You need some boots. You need to get them off the objective.
Oh, good
Shatter
Shatter
comes in on the anti-nade and on the Nano. That's going to waste that ultimate as Hardjunk and Harumen and Bandit getting the triple right there. Tire comes out for Dash, but nobody's touching the objective. And that in overtime, we're going to see Singularity Academy end up taking their third objective, making it 6-3 with no time in the bank on here on Kings Row.
Hearing the announcer say something like 6 is just so foreign to me.
6.
It's like hearing something ring out sextuple kill. It's just something you never hear. Like, obviously she says it. But
Pretty
like,
much.
how many things does she say? Could you imagine her saying like 41 in that voice? Like, I don't think I could ever imagine that. That's such. It's one of those numbers you never hear her say. Anyway, I'm going. RGH really, I think, was their best chance of stopping that cart. And when it was just him and Storm R7 caught in a Graviton Surge, Storm R7 didn't have a shield left, and he knew that because the shield broke.
Yep.
And you should be able to hear the sound cue. If Storm R7 didn't even tell you, you should still be able to hear the sound cue, especially because it was right beside you. Storm R7 obviously died. You don't. There's not a lot of fault there. RGH died in that grav. Last one there. Only playing Zarya. It's obviously not that bad. You're gonna die in that situation no matter what. But why would you throw out the Graviton Surge against, like, I think there were 5 people, if not all 6?
I think it was a 5v3, and the Graviton came out at the same time the Graviton ended up coming out from Solvex. And I think it just ended up going a little bit too far because they were caught in the Graviton of Solvex, and it just ended up not being where they needed it to be. Dash ends up getting the pick onto Hardjunk right there though, as we see Crow Champ now coming in as the Widow for this fight. So it is a 5v5 scenario right now. Tackle ends up coming in as Storm ends up taking down a Traxic. Harumen ends up falling to Dirty Shizno as well. And the objective already going to start getting unlocked. 1 minute, 30 seconds on the clock.
I want to see them both go to 6. I want to see them both go to 6 and then keep going.
But there's no choice. If they want to go into halftime 1-1, they have to do it. They have to make it happen.
Honestly, I think they have a real chance. The only thing that you've got to watch out for is Hardjunk with that EMP. They've got to figure out a way to shut that down before it actually affects them, because they're going to be so clumped up on the cart that there's not much they're going to be able to do.
Well, that and backstab, but getting the double already on the high ground between Dash and Crow Champ right there. Solvex going to get the double on cart, end up taking down Storm and C3. This is about the only time that they're going to be able to get off the cart and it still be okay, because that Nano Blade is coming up.
Definitely, and they haven't had an answer to that all day.
Nope.
They haven't had a single answer to that. So if I were them, I would simply be going for the EMP Nano Blade, because you only need to stop them once, and if they can do that, then they pretty much are a guaranteed win.
Well, let's hope. They did shut down Backstab Bud, but that ultimate is only 16% away from getting there. 16 seconds on the clock right now as they push in. Hardjunk just sitting in the back, just waiting to earn up the rest of that EMP right there. 5 seconds on the clock as the payload moving past the FB bar right there. The Fox and Bear bar as they go ahead and move in. The Graviton comes down as well as the grenades. That's a double. Nano coming in now as well as the Nano Blade going into the backline. Backstab Bud ends up taking down Dash and Storm just taking a nap on Kurt. Backstab Bud ends up getting the triple kill in the backline right there. It is literally Backstab Bud and Hardjunk trying to stop this cart with the ultimates that they have. The EMP is still available. Backstab's gonna go ahead and touch the cart, trying to get that taken care of as Hardjunk just waiting to use that EMP to take out the cart if at all possible. The team already getting themselves back together, but the rest of the team is not in place.
What a shatter!
Shatter ends up coming down for Storm, but Backstab Bud takes Storm out of the fight. Graviton, EMP, but the tire comes out from Dash, ends up taking down Hardunk. Haruman getting the double onto RGH and C3 as Dash follows up on Haruman. Dirty Shizno, Dash, and Crow all fall. And Singularity gonna walk away with a 2-0 this evening, just shy of that 5th point right there. Hard Dunk coming out with the play of the game right here, and that Graviton, woo, just eats it up.
Honestly, this one,
Sextuple kill.
there you go.
Team
Just like I was saying.
kill.
What? That was a lot closer. 50,000 damage. Wow, that was a lot closer. And we saw that. We saw Canis do very, very well there. And honestly, I thought they were going to win after the first push. But both teams doing an excellent job. Canis started to figure out what they needed to do, but it also helps that they were on a map type that benefited them the most.
I completely agree with you there. They were working it as best as they could, but nevertheless, Singularity Academy must be learning from those books that Singularity be giving them, because it's all about the flexibility, being able to swap into different compositions, even using the same composition and going at it in different ways. Like they knew when they went into round 3, Backstab Bud gonna be coming in on the Genji this time around. There's no reason to try to do that. There's no reason to try to do that double sniper to start out. It took way too long, so it's just something that they ended up working into their favor. I mean, how many quadruple kills did we see come out from Backstab with that Nano Blade? It was just absolutely ridiculous right there. But we're going to go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break, so go ahead and get yourself a drink, a snack, use the restroom, whatever it is you need to do. Maybe invite some friends to watch some Overwatch action on the Rose Cup on Twitch. Maybe you might do that. We'll see you all back here in about 5 minutes.
Get down. Get down. Get down. The bass and sound. Get down. The bass and sound. Get down. The bass and sound. Get down. The bass and sound.
has all, he has all, he has all!
Where's Whale?
I'm trying to
Oh, there he is.
sleep.
Whale's hacked. Contest! Nice.
Kill Zarya, kill Zarya. Don't allow it.
Zarya.
It's just Zarya, boys!
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to this amazing Platinum match going on between Singulariti Academy and Canis Latrans. I'm your play-by-play for the evening, Captain Jack, joined by Platinum Thistle on the color roll as we are already headed into the action on Hanamura.
Now, something that we've really got to watch out for is after that 5-minute break, how Canis is going to be fixing their match against Singularity. And honestly, what they've got to do is just play more like they played last round, and they might do a little bit better. Because this map is another one of those maps that will allow you to try again and again at the same strategy. And the only punishment you have is a lower time bank. So what they've really got to be looking for here is a way to break through Singularity's lines. They've got to wait for the one pick. They've got to wait for the one most discouraging pick, maybe a main tank, maybe something. And the second that that's done, they push and take advantage of any opportunity that presents itself. If it at all happens, if an opportunity presents itself, then take it. But you can't just wait past an opportunity and then follow your own plan here.
Nope, that's definitely something that they'll have to look out for, and we're already seeing the hog hook come out on either side right now. But we see, interesting enough, Hard Dunk and Backstab Bud coming out on the Farah Torb. Huh.
Well,
I mean, I could see the Torb, but a Farah Mercy on the defense? That's interesting.
Well, there are a lot of really nice angles here for the Farah to take, so even if they do end up with hit scan, it's going to be difficult for them to take out Backstab. And to be honest, repeated splash poke or spam is going to be one of the best ways to deal with a semi-bunker or a halt hook, so I could definitely see this working.
All right, well, let's see if they can make it happen. The halt hook comes in on the Backstab Bud, not able to solidify the kill, though, as the shield goes down for Storm R7. We already see Crochamp on the objective, ends up getting slapped by Bandit and taken down by Hard Dunk's turret. That's going to already make it a 5v6 fight moving into the objective as they go ahead and back off and wait for... Why did Crochamp reset themselves? Huh. Did you notice that?
Yeah, that is really peculiar. Maybe they were going to change
Maybe they were going to
heroes
swap and then...
On a second thought?
I guess. That's 30% lost on the EMP, though. I would have just swapped at that point. Oh! That was almost a beautiful barrage, but Dash comes in with the concussion mine, gets the double kill on the Far Mercy, as Hard Dunk Chud ends up getting the triple on the remaining members of Canis Latrans.
Now we're going to be seeing Storm R7 and RGH switching up from the Rhyme Zarya to a Winston Diva, more of a dive composition going up against this bunker. Bit of a difficult matchup, but let's see if it works out here.
Absolutely possible right there. Storm able to take down Hard Dunk right there. The Nano ends up coming in on them, looking to do some additional damage to that Far Mercy, if at all possible, as Backstab ends up following up onto Crochamp. We're gonna see Harriman and Solvex go to defend the objective right now as they get the double kill right there onto RGH and Storm, and that's going to clear up the objective of all Canis Latrans. 2 minutes on the clock.
Well, we all know the real problem is that Diva is still in her mech.
Oh,
you can't
totally.
have a mech Diva coming in.
The mini Diva is the most powerful Diva ever, right?
Mini Diva is now just the new
Oh, I mean, might as well just be the new Broken Symmetra at this aspect. For those of you that don't know, one of the first times that Platinum and I had casted together in Season 2, someone in the chat was like, Mini Diva is the powerhouse. And so that's our little inside joke that you all now know about.
They were incredibly adamant about how powerful
they were adamant about how powerful Diva was, apparently. But that barrage ends up coming out on Crochamp as Dash again with the concussion mine, just getting perfect. Like, who needs a hit scan when you got Dash on the Junkrat, apparently? Anti-Nate ends up coming in, as well as the Molten Core, as the tire coming out from Dash, looking to clean it up, gets the double. And the only one left on the objective is Bandit, ends up bringing in we've got some Boostio action, ends up coming out from C3 right there. It's going to end up getting the kill onto Bandit as Storm and Crochamp end up clearing up the objective. 30 seconds on the clock. They're going to take objective number 1, giving them 3 minutes to say, oh no, maybe not just yet. Backstab Bud able to take down C3 is Hard Dunk, getting the snipe kill onto Dash. Crochamp is able to clear Backstab of the objective, and that's going to give them 3 minutes, 15 seconds to take objective number 2.
I feel like I keep saying this, and then eventually it's just going to become like a broken record. But when they keep presenting it, I'm going to keep pointing it out. Perfect execution. They did it by the book. You saw all 3 pushes they did there went exactly the same way. The only difference was a newly landed anti-nade there by C3 Jointed. Beautifully done.
Woo! Backstab Bud taking down Dash, who was swapped over to the Genji now, looking to see if they can mimic what Backstab Bud was doing during their match on King's Row, I would imagine, as they go for that Nano Blade into the bunker. 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock right now, and it looks like they're just going to hold off and wait for Dash to get back in the action.
Smart choice. 10-second penalty is always better than getting more people picked off in a wasted fight.
Absolutely. The Halt Hook comes in onto Storm as the Primal ends up getting popped, as well as the Anti-Nade Diva Bomb going in as it ends up taking down Bandit and the Immortality Field. Backstab Bud follows up on Dirty Shizno as Crochamp takes down Harriman. It is going to be a fight of the tanks and the heals on the objective right now. Solvex trying to hold on as long as possible. Hard Dunk Chud ends up picking off Dash, but Crochamp follows up on Solvex. And Storm takes down Hard Dunk. The Nano now coming out onto RGH, looking to do some additional damage, as well as onto Backstab Bud. Here come the Bongos, looking to keep everybody out of the objective. High Noon coming down from Backstab, ends up just not even for certain why they use that. Just
BM.
Punishment, I guess.
BM at this point.
I guess.
I mean, let's be honest. High Noon is really mostly used for like reloading a lot of the time. So
really.
Yeah, a lot of people at higher ranks will just use it to reload, so they can fan the hammer 3 times instead of just twice. They'll use it to quickly use it and then quickly deactivate it, and it's faster than reloading or dodge rolling. It's like one of the fastest reloads ever. Yeah, next time you're in the practice range, just press
Q. I will have to try that out.
And then right click one after another, and you'll reload instantly.
How about that? All right, learn something new every day, folks. You heard it here as we see the dive come in. 1 minute on the clock right now. The dive working its way onto the high ground as we see the anti-nade coming in onto both Solvex and Storm. But it looks like Storm's going to end up being the first one to... Oh, no, the Primal ends up coming out, but the shield ends up protecting them, just not in the right position. The Primal Rage ends up taking down a Traxic right there as the whole hog comes out, ends up getting reflected. Nano going in onto Solvex, looking to see if they can clear up the objective, if at all possible. Another Boostio. What is C3 doing? I do not know what is going on here, but it is ridiculous. Atraxic back in the fight. Storm trying to dive on that amplification matrix, get them out of the fight as Storm takes it out. Hard dunk coming back in as the Tracer Ore with the Pulse Bomb ends up getting the double right there as Crochamp takes down Hard Dunk. Harrowman comes back in as the Hammond trying to hold on to the objective, and now we got the Mini Diva, gonna be huge. Oh no, it's Backstab Bud with the punch, ends up taking them out of the fight. Traxic following up on C3, joined in overtime, ticking away with only 50.5%. We're going to see this swap over to the attack for Singularity Academy.
You know, something tells me Baby Diva isn't quite as powerful.
I'm starting to think that way, Platinum. I'm starting to think that way.
That's super unfortunate. I had a shrine and everything.
Oh man, that's too bad.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money on
all that money to waste now that you don't know Baby Diva's that powerful.
One thing I will note though, that while they didn't win the point, Storm R7, if you're since it's gonna be streamed later, maybe you can go back on this stream and watch it as a VOD. So something that I really want you to be noticing here is a beautiful thing that Storm R7 did, which makes him a really standout tank to me. The second that Atraxic came back with the amplification matrix to try and help heal up Solvex. Solvex was everyone's target at first, and then Atraxic comes out of spawn and puts down the amplification matrix, and instantly Storm R7 turns, bubbles the amplification matrix, and jumps onto Atraxic so that the healing and amplified damage don't come through. And that is incredibly big. And while it didn't end up working, it is more because of a good pulse bomb that came through. I can't remember from which DPS, but a good pulse bomb came through and ended up taking out Storm R7.
Yeah,
and one other person. So a good pulse bomb was really the counter to that. But if you need to counter a good play with an ultimate, then in most circumstances that's going to be good. And wow, that was an early pick. Serves you right for playing Symmetra.
Wow, that was definitely early. Dash Ore getting the trap kill there onto Backstab, but now they know what they're running a little earlier than they would.
Be picked to.
Like that kind of gives them an idea of what they're going to be running here.
The point of Sim is a surprise. Now it's no longer.
It's no surprise now. Happy!
Maybe they'll be surprised they're still running it.
And they're still going with it. They're already set up on the objective as the teleporter brings them in. We're going to see the immortality field try to keep everybody up in the fight, but it's going to end up getting taken down by Dirty Shizno. Dash with the concussion mine ends up taking down Harriman as Solvex, and Hard Duck ends up getting the double right there. Solvex following up on RGH as C3 ends up finding themselves off the side of the map. I don't know how it worked, but it did.
I think C3 jointed gave up a little bit too early there. I don't know what happened. I just saw
it might have just been an accidental dash off the map.
Yeah, sloppy left and right, and then I saw a suicide, and I was really confused. But
yep.
It was probably just an accident, which is unfortunate. But then again, Hanamura .1 along with Volskaya .1 are not points you expect the full hold.
That's true.
So really what they're going to be looking for here is completely holding on this point. They can't let them get a take or they're doomed, because then they have to stick to the point completely.
Pretty much. That's the Metro Teleporter Ore coming onto the objective as the team makes its way through. The immortality field is already up as the tire coming out from Dash. You see Haruman just moving their way around, trying to make sure that it doesn't get anybody, but Backstab ends up taking it out as Hard Duck ends up getting the double kill already on the objective. Hold Hook comes out, as well as the Barrier and the Blossom ends up getting the double. Solbeck following up on RGH, and this is going to be a quick second point, folks. I hate to say it. Crochamp coming in just to say hello. But no, maybe no. I was like, oh no.
Now, one of the things I want to point out, just real quick, is that one of the things that Canis does really well is their strategy, but it can also be a downfall. They tried to outplay Singularity so well there because they knew they kept the Symmetra, they checked, and I don't know if you saw, but they went over to the cliff area.
Yep.
Where you
They were gonna halt them off. Yeah.
Exactly. They were expecting them to teleport down through that area, so they were trying to outplay them before it even happened. They didn't consider them actually just going straight to the point and cutting out the middleman. While they did use teleporter to get there, they didn't go over the cliff. So their lack of ability to adapt to a new situation that they haven't planned for is what killed them there. Because had that situation gone how they planned, yes, Singularity would have lost greatly because they wouldn't have expected it. Would have been a beautiful plan. But that's not what happened. The problem with being a team that's only good at planning is that if that one scenario comes to pass,
there's no backup.
Then you win. You're great at it. But if that scenario doesn't come to pass, and we all know how time works, an infinite number of possibilities, if that one thing doesn't happen, then you're not going to win the fight. So Canis has the buildings to be a really good team, especially if they can get down to the science of predicting what the enemy team is going to do. They're going to be unstoppable. But until they learn to adapt to a new situation, they're going to have a really hard time rising in the bracket.
Nope, I completely agree with you there. So as you all know, we are going to a map 4 for map differential, but Singularity Academy already has taken the victory this evening. So go ahead, start popping in the chat who y'all want to be your player of the match. Platinum, who are you looking at, since we still got a game left to figure out who ours is going to be?
Well, I mean, so far I've got two in mind. The first is someone that our producer pointed out during halftime, Bandit, who has been really, really good with sleep darts, nanos, just beautiful timing all around. But the other person I want to point out is someone who really impressed me last match, which is Storm R7, which is exactly why I said they impressed me last round. They've had excellent game sense. I think they're the real person on Coyotes to be able to adapt. So I think the secret to Coyotes may be letting Storm be shot caller because he's a main tank if he's not already. If they are, then they're not as adaptive as I may be perceiving here. But it seems to me as though they're very an adaptive person. They're very much an adaptive person. Even if you don't want to let them be shot caller, let them take up some plans. Let them come up with some backup plans for you, because they seem to be very good at it.
It seems to be the case, and honestly, those are the two that I would go for as well. Storm R7 has been doing exactly as a main tank should be, taking space and making space, especially on King's Row. Despite the fact that they lost, ended up making a huge amount of space for their team. But Bandit with those anti-nades, supporting Backstab Bud with between all those dashes with that nano to be able to get into the action and do even more damage. Just absolutely huge. Hard Dunk already getting the first pick onto Dash there on the high ground. Very unfortunate place to be when that goes down, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and wait out that 10 seconds.
Yeah, if you can go back to Crow Champ all the way in the back line, just trying to get some intel for the team. Now probably going to try to go for Bandit. Quick pick. Not quite finding it.
Nope, not able to get that pick right there. Dive composition coming in this time around for the offense of Canis Latrans. And I do want to point this out. Canis Latrans is the scientific name for Coyote, which is why Platinum said Coyote. So any of the Canis teams, they're named after variations of their scientific names. So it is very. We just found that out this evening. Very interesting to see such intellect going into planning some team's name. But right now, Singularity Academy just kind of clearing the objective. Although the payload is kind of moving to the pace of Storm R7.
Yeah, honestly, them using all those scientific names just takes messing with casters, giving them impronounceable names to, because you're putting them in a different language. I've only taken 1 year of Latin, so.
Only one? To be a caster, I had to take 4.
I took French. I'm specifically a Widowmaker licensed caster, and that's it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
nevertheless, the payload is now stuck at 63 meters. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock as Hard Dunk already getting the kill onto Dash with that Venom Mine. And that is going to slow down this push as they get ready for the dive. Backstab Bud already ready to pop in that Nano Blade. Just gotta wait to see it come down.
Definitely, Hat comes in onto a Traxic. That's something you want to look for here. TP
Whoa,
goes
there
away.
comes the Nano! It's going in, the blade working its way around, but with the dive composition, you're not able to use it as fluidly, and that's not gonna get a single touch right there. The payload's still moving in reverse as the halt hook comes in onto RGH, ends up getting picked off by Hard Dunk as Backstab follows up onto Crochamp right there, and Solvek's gonna take down Storm R7, 1 minute, 40 seconds on the clock.
Well, that is usually a keystone for them. Backstab was not able to get any picks because of what you said. It's dive, it's maneuver. But it also cleared space for his team. In that case, Backstab was the one doing the tank's job. He cleared space for the team and allowed them to move forward into the dip without taking spam. And that was a good play, regardless of whether it was intentional or not.
Well, I think the thing that I'm most impressed by is the fact that despite running a dive composition, we have yet to see Backstab actually get picked off. Diva Bomb going into the backline and taking down Haruman, not able to get under that immortality field soon enough as Hardunk gets a following up onto Storm R7 right there. Is a 4v4 fight on the objective. Backstab Bud getting the DMAC onto RGH as Solvek finishes off the mini Diva, and Dash ends up getting that dash kill onto Harddunk on the high ground. Solvek ends up getting slept by C3, able to keep that payload going forward, but with that tight spawn advantage, they're going to go ahead and stop that payload at the 66-meter mark.
Traxic taking a nice place up on high ground, but putting those jump boots in on the way. Storm R7 is going to be going for that. Primal pops out.
The Primal already coming out from Storm, looking to see if they can push around the team. EMP ends up getting 2 as the blade comes in. Dash
4
with the quadruple kill. Quintuple kill, looking for the sextuple. Not going to be able to get it, unfortunately, but team kill still going to ring out loud and proud as RGH takes down Ataraxic, and that is going to give them objective number 1, objective 2, 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
While it's not the best time, it's still pretty decent. Oh, Dash's hand right off his shoulders. That's a shame.
That is not a good position to be as Harddunk already picking off Dash. Harddunk has just had Dash in their sights all night long, and I don't know why they haven't really focused on getting done with them. The anti-nade ends up coming in onto Bandit, but not going to end up getting the damage to take them out of the fight as C3 and RGH end up falling. Crochamp and Dirty Shizno able to get kills on Haruman and Bandit. Harddunk again picking off Dash as soon as they find their way into this objective area. And this is, I'm sorry, I would swap to somebody else at this point.
I thought Genji was
either that or deflect. Something. Like, it's got to come down. You know, it's got to come down to something right there.
Yeah, sorry. I just spent the last half hour looking at the rockets and the hydraulics on the back of the rocket ship in there. I was trying to figure out what they did. The detailing in these maps are insane.
They go whoosh.
Yeah. I more meant the hydraulics than the rockets, but, you know.
Oh, man. 1 minute, 10 seconds on the clock right now. Dash almost getting halt hooked and headshotted right there as the sights end up coming out for Harddunk right there. And, you know, they're just finding themselves in a very odd position because you see Dash continually getting taken out. Storm just taking a nap on top of the rocket. That's a beautiful one right there. Nano Blade ends up coming out for Backstab Bud, ends up taking down Dash, diving in to take down Harddunk as the Primal ends up coming out as well, looking to see if they can push it back. Oh, the Diva Bomb comes down, but unfortunately it's not past the shield right there. It gets nothing, but the Primal does end up taking down Bandit, I believe. 20 seconds on the clock right now as they continue to move into the objective. The anti-nade comes down onto Solvex. but those heals continuing to come in. Solvex not able to get taken out of the fight just yet. Halt Hook comes in with the anti-nade, takes down Dirty Shizno. 5 seconds remaining on the clock as Backstab ends up taking down C3. The only one left to touch point is the Sombra, ends up touching and EMPing. Backstab takes Dash right out of the fight though, as the Bongos end up getting hacked. So that's not going to be a benefit to them, but nobody takes them out while they're getting hacked, so that damage is going to continue to come out as we see Storm get melted by Hard Dunk, and the Nano now coming down to Dirty Shizno. I don't know what these Boostio plays have been, to be completely honest with you, but I'm finding them very questionable.
Here's what I think. I have a theory.
Okay, what's your theory?
I have a theory that
because that's the third one. I want to point that out. That's the third Boostio we've seen.
That our friend over there, C3 Jointed, has not had an easy time hitting Lucio as Ana. So what he's done is he's put a magnet in his pocket, so that all of the syringes. No, just the syringes.
Oh.
It was meant for the syringes, but they forgot that it also affects the nanos, and he can't change his pants in the middle of the game. That would look too suspicious. So
no, that makes sense.
So they've just got to look.
Oh, the theories that we come up with here are amazing. As we see now, nope, not triple. I was about ready to say triple DPS, and then
welcome back to the Goats meta, everybody.
Welcome back to the Goats meta. I mean, I would be honest. There were some good metas other than Goats before the 2-2-2 lock. I gotta be honest with you. But we are going to see essentially what would be a variant of the triple DPS meta, and that's the double main tank with Solvek and Haruman taking on the Winston Hammond for this fight. Backstab Button, Hard Dunk coming in on the Doomfist and Widow, and Atraxic and Bandit still coming in on the Lucio Ana, which is going to be huge for them. On the side of Canis Latrans, we're going to be seeing Dive with a Mei. And I don't know how to feel about that.
You know how I said that Singularity was a really aggressive team by nature? This is one of the most aggressive compositions I've ever seen, both in description and in character. Because you've literally got a Wrecking Ball and a rocket-propelled fist, someone who can beef you up, someone who has a rocket pack and jumps on you and punches you around.
Yep.
Someone who can speed boost you. The only non-aggressive thing I see here is the Widowmaker, and that even that can help with the aggression.
The only non-aggressive thing is the Ana, to be honest, because all she do. But then you could say shooting needles at people is probably pretty aggressive.
How do you think people get steroids into their system, and what do you think Ana does? She's just got heroin.
I don't know about any of that now. But the anti-nade ends up coming in on the high ground to Dirty Shizno. Haruman able to take them out of the fight, so it's already a 5v6. 3 minutes remaining on the clock right now as RGH ends up getting DMAC'd by Solvex right there. The only one left is Hard Dunk getting the pick onto Crochamp as Backstab Bud following up on C3, and Atraxic ends up taking down RGH. Storm is able to follow up on Hard Dunk Cuds, but that's going to be all they're going to get as Backstab Bud getting the double kill right there between Dash and Storm. That payload's going to move into Objective 1 with just about 2 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock.
Really there, what you saw again is Storm 7 doing exactly what his job was, going after that Widow.
No!
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, that is too bad. The Diva Bomb, like I already thought that it was going to get bubbled, but even worse, it got caught on the high ground from a really weird propelled angle. I'm not even for certain how that ended up coming to be, the way that it came down, but we're going to see the minefield now coming out for Solvex as we see Backstab Bud moving their way in with that Doomfist. We've now got a Nano Fist coming in doing damage as Haruman ends up taking down C3 Jointed. The payload only about 20 meters away from its final destination right now as the Primal Rage coming out for Storm, but I don't think it's going to be enough as they end up getting taken down by Solvex. Crow Champ coming in as that Reaper looking to do damage, but gonna end up getting out beat dropped and anti-nated. Bandit ends up taking them out as Backstab Bud getting the double on C3 and Dash. The only one left to touch point again is Dirty Shizno. Oh, but now we're gonna see RGH coming in on the Wrecking Ball, seeing if they can pull a Miley Cyrus here and turn this all around, if at all possible. Hard Dunk ends up picking off Crow as Dash follows up on Hard Dunk. High Noon coming out, gets the double. This may be exactly what they need as the Nano goes on to Dash as well, doing a whole heck of a lot of damage. Looking to see if they can pick it off, but they still got 3 on the objective. Only 3.85 meters left to go as the Hammond continuing to slam RGH, trying to get those final kills as Solvex gets out of the fight, as well as the Trax. Dash ends up taking them out, but with 3 minutes on the clock, honestly, they're going to have plenty of enough time to regroup.
That was very much impressive. That was very impressive.
I guess they took out the magnet.
Yeah. Or maybe Lucio was just standing far enough away. You never know.
Maybe.
Doesn't have to be a strong magnet.
That's true. But we're going to see the minefield come down from Solvex once again. Ends up taking down Dirty Shizno. RGH going to fall to Haraman as well. And that is going to be the game, folks. 4-0 going to Singularity Academy. Throw your caps in the air. Give them their diploma because they're headed to the big leagues after winning week 1 against Canis Latrans. Play of the game, though, gonna go to Dash, showing that they can easily copy Backstab just as well, coming in with the Nano Blade right here, just slashing them up.
Very nice. Very nice form there.
That
13,000 damage done. That's not bad again.
No, that absolutely isn't. So go ahead and start blowing up the chat with your player of the match this evening. Platinum, why don't you go ahead, since you're back from vacation now, and give us your player of the match for the evening.
Now, there are a lot of things to consider here. Solvex, very well on the first map. We saw him get a triple and play of the game. Backstab Bud, excellent job on the Genji for pretty much the entire game. Maybe about half a dozen excellent Dragon Blades going on. Atraxic, excellent job on the Baptiste, but it seems only backbone. Dash, obviously, you got to mention how well he's been doing. Bandit, we said, but like I said before, I think I'm gonna have to give it to Storm R7 with my runner-up being Dash.
All right, nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna have to say I gotta give it to Solvex after that ending right there. As you were saying, Solvex being on the secondary tank position, doing an incredible job, whether it be the incredible whole hog that allowed them to capture objectives 1 and 2 when it came to their control point on Lijiang Tower, the incredible Zarya play that we saw coming out on King's Row, when it came to their Hammond play, even here on Watchpoint Gibraltar. Absolutely incredible. So Solvex, you're walking away with my player of the match this evening. Now, since this is recorded, unfortunately, we will not be able to notice what y'all's player of the match will be, but go ahead and blow it up in the chat because I guarantee you the teams are watching and they're going to want your love as well. So with that being said, that's going to be it for us here at the Rose Cup. I'm going to go ahead and give you a little sneak preview, if you will, of what next week is going to be. Right now in the schedule, if I could get my computer to work, we have got on the 26th, Ominous Rebellion and Dark Allegiance in the Diamond Division. The 27th, Nebula Corvus versus Lost Connection in the Masters Division. August 28th, Damage Inc. Cryo Wolf versus E-Dogs in the Grand Master Division. Saturday, we're going to see Fenrir's Fate and Kawaii 5-0 in the Platinum Division.
That's pretty good.
And thank you. And on Sunday, September 1st, we're going to see the Kings Row Saints versus Ignited Embers. So be sure to catch all the amazing action. Now, note those teams may change because the schedules are coming out like just about as quickly as I can put them in there. So if we have someone that can fit into a better time slot, then we might switch that up. But that is what we are looking at for this week. Either way, it's going to be some incredible Overwatch. Platinum, you got anything else to put out before we close this out?
No, just it was an excellent first game to be back, and it was very.
Well, we're glad to have you back, Platinum. go ahead and hit that heart button at the top of your stream. That's going to continue to support our community and be able to give you notifications anytime that we are online, which, as I said, right now is Monday through Wednesday and Saturday and Sundays. You can also hit that subscribe button, $4.99 or Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime subscription will support our community, as well as going to our Matcherino page, currently sitting at about $250, is our prize pool for our 5 divisions competing in the Rose Cup this season. So be sure to, it literally takes about 10 minutes. All you got to do is like some stuff, share some stuff on Twitter. Like if you do Twitter stuff, it's going to be pretty easy. You earn about $10 for the prize pool, and you can donate directly if you want to as well. So it comes down to the matter of choice. But honestly, it's the easiest way that I've seen that we can earn a prize pool for our community without doing a buy-in for said prize pool. You also want to give a shout out to Natter as well. Let me go ahead and I forgot to pull this up before we got started. Natter is going to be giving a free 2-hour coaching session with the winning team of each division. So be sure to check them out. They are a great educator for the Overwatch community. You can check out their Twitch, and Discord can be found in the Rose Cup Discord in our partners section. So be sure to check out all the amazing stuff that's going to be going on here at the Rose Cup. It's week 1 of 12 and still the playoffs to go after that. So we're going to be going at this for a long time. So we hope that you'll stick around for that. Until next time, I'm Captain Jack.
I'm Platinum Thistle.
And thank you so much to First Night of Knee on our producer role this evening. And we'll see y'all next time.